Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to actually use the outcome assessment to assess your students. So I have already added in all of the outcomes that work for my class, and I'm going to show you how you would assess this. So this speed grader is how you use this. It's the easiest way to do it. So if you click on speed grader, it'll actually go through all the students in your course. Now, these are fake students that Spencer kindly created for me. Notice how I pulled that little bar over. I hit these little three dots and it moved it over. And the reason is I'm going to hit view rubric. And this allows all of the outcomes to pop up for me to do my assessment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assess Ferd Burful here and show you how easy it is. Now, if you don't remember these outcomes, some of them have the description. So these are the discipline outcomes, use appropriate mathematics to solve problems. Well, he did great at that. This was recognize scenarios. So these are application problems. He did pretty good mastery on his work that I have graded. Okay, now these are my course outcomes. So again, I can look at the longer description and it'll tell me which one I'm staring at. Okay, so he actually did very well on that one. And I'm just going to go ahead and stop going through all of these like I'm grading him for real when I'm not. And there we go. Okay. So let's say then now I got to the course outcomes. Now this one you're going to maybe want to refer to that rubric. So it'd be wise to have that rubric open to assess these based on the levels. Again, since I'm kind of making this up, I'm going to go ahead and click on these. You could have a student possibly be in developing. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I don't know why I hadn't picked it before, but there you go. This is a very strong student. Ferd is very strong student. And when I'm done, I can just arrow to the right here in the top corner and go to the next student. And the next student, I will go ahead and go through and assess their performance. The idea, though, is that I am using assignments in my class. Maybe it's a specific assignment, maybe it's multiple assignments, but I'm kind of doing this in a holistic point of view. For the student, I am assessing them overall. Go ahead and click save. I think I forgot to save the last one. I did. I know I did. See, they're all gone. Silly me. Thankfully, he was a great student, and I vaguely remember most of what I chose for him. I think I threw a couple threes in here at this point, but you get the idea. The idea is that you can do this for each student, and this is collecting data for us. And what'll happen is at this point, it goes to the assessment task force, and they will take that data and use it to see how students are performing in their classes on our outcomes. And that is how you do your assessment. Now, there is one more step before we stop here. I'm going to come back to the grade book that's in the top left corner. There's my fake grades. That's fine. Fake class. Okay. The last step is the JOT form. I will link this on that main page. I don't know why I didn't link it right now, but it's right here on the instructions page. This is the JOT form link. And if you click on this, it takes you to the reflection part of the assessment. The hope is you're not just busting through it like I did with these students, but you're actually looking at your assessments and determining how they performed and whether what their scores mean for each student. You'll notice right here, I have this kind of system set up so you can look at when you're doing this. Proficient students are students that have the highest level of understanding demonstrated in their coursework. They fully grasp the concepts, apply them appropriately and consistently. Competent are students that demonstrate some understanding and have proven through coursework that they grasp the desired outcome. Developing would mean that they don't fully understand, but they're making an effort. They show a small amount of understanding in their coursework. Emerging are students who do not understand. They've attempted coursework, but it's superficial, doesn't demonstrate that they know it. And then, of course, there's the no data option where you just don't have data to measure for a student. That is a possibility. So these are the ratings we're using on the outcomes. It's kind of this basic model. I mentioned earlier that if you are using the for the CLOs, the comprehensive learning outcomes, these are the general categories. We look at students for defining a problem, identifying strategies, proposing solutions, and each one has a detailed discussion about what that means to be proficient, competent, developing, or emerging for each student. So you may want to go ahead and have this ready before you get going, maybe download it. So that way, as you're going through your class, you can kind of refer to this as you're deciding how each student did and on their coursework. The comprehensive learning outcomes is thought to be holistically approached, whereas the course outcomes might be very specifically tied to assignments. The discipline learning outcomes is also going to take a holistic approach based on how they performed in the class. So you'll kind of assign that based overall on how they did in the class, which category you feel that the student falls into. It is subjective, and hopefully most teachers are subjectively grading similar, but it is possible that there will be some differences in that. Okay, I want to come back here to the JOT form just so you can kind of see. You'll input your course, your name, what method of delivery it is, and what types of outcomes you actually use to do your assessments. And that's in general. And then you're going to kind of reflect on how you did or what information you got from these. This is probably the most valuable part of this. We need you to actually reflect on how it went. Did it go badly? Say that. You know, if it did go badly, what are you going to change? Okay. Maybe it went badly before and you made changes. What happened? You know, we're asking those kind of questions because that's the things that the state looks at. So it is very important that you do this reflection piece. I will come back and make sure to, so let me go back to the modules page, and I'll make sure to add this as a third category down below, the reflection piece. That way you don't have to click on how to use it, but it'll be in both places. So you can click on it in either. But there you go. That's how we do outcome assessment. Thanks, guys. Good luck.